Hey everybody, Jillian here for Illustrated Faith, and today I'm going to be sharing a Bible journaling process video using the Storyteller Devotional Kit from Illustrated Faith. So I am going to be journaling in session 2, which is called Casting Call, and I'm going to be journaling the prompt that has us in Exodus 3. So I have my interleaved journaling Bible here, and I already have an entry done next to Exodus 3, so I'm just going to flip over to this page over here and work on this one. So I don't know about you, but when I was a little girl, I loved to play Office with my best friend, and I have not outgrown my love for paper products and office supplies. And so I gathered as many as I could for today's process video, because I wanted to use this file folder that comes with the physical devotional kit, which is sold out, but you can still find the digital version over on the Illustrated Faith site. We'll link that down in the video description below. So I wanted to feature this file folder. I have a project life card that I'm going to trim down to make it fit in here, and then I just have a bunch of different pieces from the kit, like these fun paper pieces, and then some other office supply type things. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video and we'll get started. Alright, so I went ahead and trimmed this guy down, and then I found a copper colored paper clip that I'm going to use to keep this little piece inside the folder. And I'm going to start by creating a bunch of layers underneath this file folder. So here I'm showing you some printables from the Print and Pray shop that I plan to use. I really like using these collage papers. Some of these are from the 100 Days devotional journals. I like printing them on clear sticker paper and then using them as like a base layer of paint when I can't actually pull my paints out. So here, like, just so many different fun art marks and paint swatches and types of things that you can layer under these paper pieces. So I have a sheet of some faux washi strips here that I'm going to find the colors that coordinate with this kit and then put those aside. And then I'm going to cut apart this word Moments from one of Jill's Toolbox sets for the 100 Days of Less Hustle, More Jesus. And then I've got some patterned paper. Like I said, I looked through my stash for some office supply type things. And so I had this cut apart sheet from an older Paige Evans set. And I liked this little piece that said important on it, and it matched the colors in the kit. And then this fun like number print from an old Dear Lizzie paper. Super old stuff. And then I went through the devotional kit and picked out like the binder clips and the glasses. Here's some other random like little notepads and things. I printed out, or ripped out rather, a sheet of notebook paper from one of my little notebooks that I keep in my purse. Just some fun things to create some layers behind the file folder. The idea was, if you have ever had like a desk job, I worked in a corporate office for a while, and my desk was just constant piles. Like, there were just piles of things on my desk, and it would not be uncommon for you to walk by and see just like papers out with file folders piled on top. And so that is really the look that I was going for, recreating my desk from like 5 years ago for this entry here in Exodus. I think this is a pretty good base layer. I don't want to forget how all of these things fit together, so I'm going to grab my tiny attacher and get those stapled together. And I'm trying to see how I can use this collage paper in the background. I added a little bit of glue here just to keep it together. So I'm going to use some of these fun art marks. I think these are from the 100 Days of Less Hustle, More Jesus collage papers, and then I think this washi is from the digital pieces from the Mark Maker devotional kit, and I love how they all just coordinate with this kit. So I'm going to go ahead and get these things stuck down now that I have an idea of where I want the file folder to live on my page. And while I'm doing that, let me go ahead and read you the section in Exodus 3 where Janet has us. So she has us in chapter 3, starting in verse 4. So let's go ahead. This is Moses in the burning bush. It says, "When the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called to him out of the bush, 'Moses, Moses.' And he said, 'Here I am.' Then down in verse 10, it says, "Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that ye may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt." But Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt?" And then this is the verse I want to focus on today, verse 12. God said to him, "But I will be with you, and this shall be the sign for you, that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God on this mountain." Janet asks us in her devotional, have you ever told God that you're not good enough? Moses certainly says, who am I that I should do this, right? And I think for most of us, we have insisted that we are not good enough, equipped enough, talented enough, smart enough, but God knows that. And here's the good news, something that may be even freeing. God isn't banking on our strengths. His plans aren't hinged on us. And just like we see in verse 12 of this passage, God changes the subject back to himself when Moses asks that question, who am I? God says, I will be with you. This call to lead the Israelites out of Egypt was never about Moses. And I love how one author just really sums up what we can take away from this exchange. She says, the one true God responds to our insecurities with reassurances about himself. In doing so, he releases us from the source of our paralysis, shifting our gaze from the can'ts to the one who can. So that's what has inspired my journaling today. The title for my page, I cut out the letters from that Toolbox word moments, I think it said, to spell out memo, and I'm writing a little memo to myself. Inside the file folder, it's simply going to say, remember your role in his story. So I just want to, whenever I open this little file folder up, I just want to have that reminder. Ultimately, it's not about me and what I can do, it's about him. So I'm finally ready to glue this big piece down. I went ahead and added a little more to my background by putting my journaling pen through that Revival Camp stencil with the triangles. It's so fun. And then I used some black watercolor splatters before I got everything else down. And then I'm just looking to some other like random things that I had pulled from my stash. They're pretty old, but just things that reminded me of office supplies, like a little label sticker, a stamp here. I love the perforated edges. I'm just looking for things that will coordinate with the colors in the kit and then just continue to layer them. I'm going to use this like mint colored tab up at the top, and then to add some more color up at the top towards my tab, I just pulled another sticker off the sticker sheet and then used that casting call like Wordfetti almost. Now I'm getting this word memo down. I'm not sure where I want to put it. I thought about putting it on the file folder, but decided instead to put it on this little sheet of notebook paper up top. I love how fun and wonky those are. I'm going to cut off a little portion of these typewriter keys and stick that underneath the file folder just to create a little more interest, another little something peeking out over there. This was so fun to put together. Totally reminds me of my scrapbooking days when I would layer washi and paper and all these fun things underneath my photos. Next, I'm going to get working on my card. Now, the journaling card I used has vertical lines. I wish they were horizontal, but I think you can still read what I'm stamping down here. So I just had a stamp that says remember, and then I pulled out some different alpha stickers and labels and things like that that coordinate with the colors in the kit to get my title down. I'm also using some of these printables from Jill. I love these. I think this was such a good idea. She created a whole printable with like little words like in, his, of, the, a, and you get, when you print it out, you get like, I don't know, a dozen each. It's great. So to save a little bit of room, I'm going to use those. I had thought about seeing if I could fit this vellum sticker that says his story on here, but it just wasn't going to look right, or at least the way that I wanted it to look. So I used the word story from the stamp set So there we go. Remember your role in his story. And then I'm going to use this paper clip to keep this clipped in here. So ideally when I open it, I'm going to keep the paper clip closed in the back and then just like lift out the front portion, the front flap. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is use the Calico Mega Date Stamp to stamp down the date. I almost stamped the wrong date on there. And there we go. So I'm so tickled with how this came out. It was so fun to make, a nod to my love of office supplies, and just a reminder to keep my focus on the one who is enough. We'd love to have you guys walk through the Storyteller Devotional Kit with us. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I've got the digital devotional kit linked down in the video description below. And if you do share on social media, be sure to tag it so we can see and follow along. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.